What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. You know who it is. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about AEW Dynamite September 4th, 2024 review. Um, the show is pretty decent, not bad, not too shabby. Thought it was all right. But personally, they still need some work, but they did touch a lot on their important storylines and did an excellent job with those. Jon Moxley's a fucking mystery still. We don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's talking about Darby Allin and him being a patient man and wants a response from Darby Allin about whatever it might be. I have no idea outside of it relating to Shane McMahon or something. I have no idea. It's a very strange, awkward situation. Not too much of a fan of it. So yeah. At least with the riddles and bullshit that's going on with Jon Moxley, that makes no sense to me. Match-wise, I mean, we had some decent matches. A six-man tag team match was good. The Kyle Fletcher Okada match was good, but what was the point of these matches? Did they have any rhyme or reason to be on the show? No. The show ending with Hangman and Page burning down a building that Swerve Strickland used to live in as a child, and him purchasing that house back after signing a contract with Tony Khan was fucking superb. Having the inner touches of Randy Orton burning down Bray Wyatt's sister Abigail's house. That's what it reminded me of, and it was fucking great. I hope Swerve loses at All Out against Hangman Page. I am betting on Hangman Page to win this match, actually. And we'll go over the All Out preview predictions tomorrow, while the NFL game for I sound like a robot, Matt 87 Eagle says. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's not my fucking. It's not my. It's out of my hands, pretty much. I don't know. But whatever. Still dealing with this damn cold. So it's kind of bothering me and whatnot. So I do apologize if I sound like a robot to you guys. I have no control over that. That's just my internet connection or what have you. I don't know. But I'm going to definitely look forward to buying a new computer at some point anyway, so I can upgrade my video and give you guys better content than what I'm giving you now. Speaking of football, tomorrow we will be going over the preview. We'll be going over best bets for NFL. Matt 87 Eagles, you're going to be a little disappointed. I am not betting on the Bucs. I pivoted off of the Bucs. I'm betting on the 49ers against the Jets in San Francisco. So you might be a little pissed off at me. So Matt 87 Eagle, I apologize about that. But, you know, I can't trust your Bucs. I don't know why. I just have this funny feeling. A lot of other people are thinking Washington's got a chance against Tampa because they think that Baker Mayfield may, regress in his productivity compared to what he did last year. I'm not taking any chances. This is money we're talking about, and bets are a lot different than picks. I still think the Bucs will win, but I'm not going to bet on it because I don't know if this kid, Jaden Daniels, has the capability of surprising a lot of people in football this year, in his first year as a starter. So we'll have to see, but I'm staying far away from that game as humanly possible. I'm going to be watching my Cowboys trying to defeat the Cleveland Browns. People actually think the Cowboys got a shot at beating the Cleveland Browns. But anyway, I'm not even betting on them. An underdog I'm actually interested in is the Raiders, but we'll get into that tomorrow and discuss pro football before the NFL actually starts. So I'll be going over that with you guys tomorrow, as well as I'm going to go ahead and cover all-out preview and predictions while the NFL first game is on. I'll have that playing in the background with the sound off, so I don't get flagged for any legal issues with the, any kind of that legal issues with YouTube having sound in the background from the NFL game. So I will have that game on, but I will have the sound off. Anyway, let's get into AEW Dynamite. Let's go over what happened and what occurred during the show. We kickstarted the show with Daniel Garcia. I gotta say, I think Daniel Garcia owes MJF a thank you for what he did to him. Finally brought him out of his shell, made him a little bit more intense, more believable, and not to mention, doesn't seem to come across gyrating all the time as if he was part of the New Day. I just think that's kind of interesting that that's all stopped and changed. He's no longer a sports entertainer. He's a more intense, serious guy who wants to ruin MJF's life and cripple him so that he can tell his children that he once was a professional wrestler, but only to have his career shortened and ended by Daniel Garcia because he made him a cripple. Absolutely love it. Who I think is going to win that match, I have no idea. MJF was great as usual on the microphone. Talked about how, it's amazing, Daniel Garcia, you know how to speak. It's amazing. You're doing an excellent job, kid. But he pretty much went ahead and told him, Daniel Garcia pretty much said that he's going to end his career. Talked about shit about him having fake hair plugs that failed in Turkey to get plants put in. That pissed off MJF. And he just kind of sat back and listened to all this. And MJF did his part in the promo. And eventually it led to him talking about him saying, Daniel Garcia, I'm going to do the same thing to you, friend. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cripple you. You're going to be laying in a hospital bed. And your mother, who's a great lady, is going to attend to you. And don't worry, I'm not here to shit on your mom. I'm here to give her a compliment, as well as she's treated every other guy laying on their back in a bed. And that pissed off Daniel Garcia. So he ran up the railings to go up this stairway up to where MJF was in the crowd. And he was beating up all these security guards and so forth. And then MJF hits him with a bottle of champagne or something like that, and beats the holy hell out of him with that. Starts bleeding down his face. So MJF leans over and he says, "Let me sit in here with you, kid." And he looks at him. He says, "You should be very appreciative of who I've made you into, because I'd like to thank you for what you've turned me into. You've waken up something inside of me I never knew was there. And I'm going to utilize that to send you straight to paradise after you've gone through hell." And he kisses him on his forehead with blood dripping down his face. Blood is on his face, and he starts tasting the blood off of his fingers. It's fucking gross as shit, but villain-like to the T. I thought this was great. Awesome stuff by MJF in this segment. Daniel Garcia is fantastic. I hope he's re-signing with the company. I heard he's having contract disputes with Tony Khan, but I'm pretty certain he's going to re-sign. He's in a good spot here. I think that Daniel Garcia should get a W here, especially if you want to re-sign him. You have him beat MJF in this matchup. It only gives you a higher probability of signing him on your roster. And I think that's what they need to do. Daniel Garcia is a guy I think they can build up and make into something and be a big player. I honestly think what he's doing with MJF is fantastic. I mean, granted, it's simple, it's straight to the point, it's nothing fancy, but it's getting the job done. It's bringing out the best in Daniel Garcia that we have not seen since he's worked in AEW. So I honestly like this. I really do. I think that Daniel Garcia. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sometimes going to be clearing my throat because I do have phlegm tickling the bottom of my throat, and it's causing me to cough. And I don't want to end up coughing on the air. I might end up doing that at some point, possibly. So if I do apologize and to give you guys a heads up. So yeah. Anyway. So Okada, he was the first match on the card defending his Continental Championship against Kyle Fletcher. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Kyle Fletcher's a good talent. Don't get me wrong. His performances in the ring are not bad. But where does he have the right to be competing for a Continental Championship? You couldn't think of anybody else to challenge for a title. Couldn't think of like Mark Briscoe or Orange Cassidy even. Orange Cassidy is a valuable person to use. Now, granted, he was in a 6-man tag with Will Ospreay and Kyle O'Reilly, but I mean, you could have put Mark Briscoe in a match like this. I mean, it would have made a little bit more sense. Mark Briscoe's got a lot more wins in singles competition than Kyle Fletcher does. And Kyle Fletcher's there every week, losing. Over and over and over again. I don't know, man. I think the match itself was okay, but why does Kyle Fletcher deserve a title shot when he has never won a singles match since last year? Literally a year ago, he won a match in a singles competition. That makes absolutely no fucking sense at all to me. It's mind-numbingly dumb to make a person like that a challenger for a championship. He shouldn't even be sniffing a championship. What he should be doing is working on Rampage, or better yet, working on Ring of Honor. That's really where he belongs. Because he's not doing anything here. And he's on Dynamite every single week. Why? What does he bring to the table? What is he doing that's so fantastic outside of making him lose every fucking week? I feel like he's Brooklyn Brawler with good wrestling talent. This is insane. He's a fucking jobber. That's all he is. Ricochet wasn't on the show. There's another guy. You could have Ricochet versus Okada. I mean, granted, it had been a little too soon, but at least fucking Ricochet has a win under his belt from last week. Didn't he face Kyle Fletcher last week? Let me check that out. I don't remember, but I know he wrestled last week. Anyone in the chat, do you guys know if Ricochet wrestled last week against Kyle O'Reilly? Because I'm not sure. I'm trying to check this out real quick. Give me 1 second. So just trying to figure out what his last match. Yeah, he faced Kyle Fletcher last week. This makes absolutely no sense. He faced Kyle Fletcher last week, and now Kyle Fletcher gets the challenge for a Continental Championship? This is mind-boggling dumb. This is fucking insane. There is no rhyme or reason for Kyle Fletcher to be challenging for a Continental Championship after he lost last week to Ricochet. Ricochet should be facing for this title. Can you imagine if you were in a number one contenders match and all you had to do was lose to get a challenge for a championship? I mean, Kyle Fletcher is possibly the fucking AEW Brooklyn Brawler of AEW wrestling with good wrestling ability. That's all he is. This is fucking insane. And this guy's on every single week, losing, as well as he did tonight against Okada. And Okada beat him and retained his championship. For 30 minutes almost. Not to mention, I thought we were going to get another reenactment of MJF and fucking Will Ospreay for the International Championship. I really can't believe this nonsense. Yeah, Okada won with a low blow, followed by the Rainmaker to score a pinfall. So AEW re-aired a shortened version of a video that was released on social media earlier today with Strickland using the money from his new contract to purchase his childhood home, and later we find out that Hangman Page burns into the motherfucking ground. Jamie Hayter defeats Robin Renegade. Wow. Like, nobody fucking cares. Saraya and Harley Cameron watched the match from backstage and didn't look impressed. So, yeah, okay, whatever. Roderick Strong is shown backstage arguing with Christopher Daniels over his foot being under the rope last week in a trios match with Hook. Hook comes in and says he saw the footage and he'll give him a shot at the FTW Championship tonight. Strong says he's not doing that in a dump like Milwaukee, and says he'll cash in that match on his own time, and Hook will be the first one to know. What the fuck you do? Next, in the parking garage, Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir take out personnel backstage. They run into the Elite, and Moxley goes face-to-face with Jack Perry. Moxley says he doesn't care what other people say. He calls Perry a sweet kid. Okay. And Moxley and Shafir walk away. Moxley and Shafir come to the ring from the crowd. Moxley wonders if Darby Allin is somewhere backstage tonight, but he doesn't think so. Moxley reflects on taking on Allin years ago before AEW and praises him as a performer. Moxley hints that some people in AEW feel like they are entitled to things, and Mox says it's time is ticking on Darby, and he doesn't want to apply any pressure, but he will if he has to. Moxley says he just wants to talk, and Mox Shafir exit through the crowd. I'm just dumbfounded. I don't know what the fuck this is all about, what he's trying to do here, but whatever, you know. It is a mystery. It is making Moxley seem mysterious and so forth, which I like, but still, I mean, like, do we really care? I mean, until it happens, and we know what's going on. There's nothing going on here that really gets me pumped for this, honestly. Learning Trey is backstage. Chris Jericho says he doesn't think Orange Cassidy realizes the severity of what he did when he ruined his $7,000 jacket several years ago. Still fucking talking about this damn jacket that happened back when the Inner Circle were around. They air an old clip of Cassidy soaking Jericho and the Inner Circle in orange juice. Jericho says Brian Keith is going to take that money out of Cassidy's ass on Collision. Oh boy, I can't wait to miss it. I'll be watching SmackDown over this shit. Orange Cassidy comes in and completely ignores Chris Jericho. Cassidy tells Keith if he beats him on Friday, he'll pay Jericho back the jacket in cash, and walks away. And Jericho is furious that he was ignored. Whatever. Mariah May has her first title defense against Nyla Rose. Again, what did Nyla Rose do to earn a shot for this world championship? Has she been on the television shows? Has she been on Rampage even? Has she been doing anything important storyline-wise? No. She just ends up getting a match. And, of course, losing the match altogether. So it doesn't really make a fucking difference. Mariah May hits Nyla Rose with Storm Zero to score the pinfall and the victory. If it airs for Deonna Purrazzo, we haven't seen her on fucking television since she last challenged for the AEW Women's Championship. She will face Akira Shida this Friday night on Collision. And AEW TBS champion Mercedes Moné and Camille come to the ring. And Mercedes Moné questions Akira Shida can call herself the ace when she's not the face of TBS. Moné says she's the face of the whole company. Mercedes says that Shida will learn later this week that there's a price to pay when you mess with Moné. Akira Shida shows up on the Tron and says she had Mercedes Moné beat weeks ago until Camille got involved. Shida says Mercedes can't beat her, and Christopher Daniels announces that Camille is banned from ringside for Saturday's match at All Out. Wow. All right, so the Elite are backstage. Jack Perry says 3 years ago he was in the ring the first time with Bryan Danielson debuted in AEW. Perry says one day he promised himself he'd have the moment to stand in the ring with the American Dragon. Jack Perry says while sitting at home, he found out that Danielson's career was coming to an end and he felt he was going to miss his chance. Perry says he did everything he could to get back, and Danielson could have helped him, but he didn't. All right, giving a little emphasis as to why he hates him so much. And he now wants his opportunity to get in the ring with the American Dragon. That makes a little bit more sense. Outside of just saying, oh, I beat him in a fucking Anarchy in a arena match. So Perry says that this Saturday won't be a happy ending. Matthew Jackson says they will do everything to make sure the AEW championship comes back to the Elite. I highly doubt that's going to happen. AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson comes out and joins commentary team for the main event. And that was the 6-man tag team match with Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay, and Kyle O'Reilly against Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and I'm trying to remember, and Wheeler Yuta. I believe Wheeler Yuta's team lost this match. I'm trying to remember. Give me 1 second to refresh this real quick. Come on, guys. Yeah, so it was Pac, Claudio, Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta get the victory over Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly. Pac and Will Ospreay battle to the backstage area halfway through the match, and Claudio Castagnoli scores a pinfall on Kyle O'Reilly for his team, and that's how the match ends. Following that, Bryan Danielson goes to the ring to celebrate with Castagnoli and Yuta, and they are jumped by all 4 members of the Elite from behind. BCC manages to overcome the odds and send the Elite running. Claudio Castagnoli gets on the microphone and tells the Elite they just made the biggest mistake of their lives. Castellani says he's been in the mood for collecting gold, and he doesn't have anything to do it all out, and neither does Yuta. So they challenge the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles. I don't know how that makes any sense, but okay. Should be a good match, but it doesn't make a lot of logical sense. Danielson says people are sick and tired of Jack Perry and all his crap. Danielson promises to kick Perry's head in at All Out. Okay. We finally catch up with Ospreay and Pac backstage. Pac brainbusters Ospreay on the production crates. And that's pretty much it with that segment. And then the ending was a contract signing between Pac and Hangman Page in the steel cage match, which should be a really good matchup. He was all set and ready to sign the contract. Unfortunately, twice they announced Hangman Page to come out. He did not show up. We have Hangman Page basically standing in front of the house that Swerve purchased and said, this house pretty small. The ceiling pretty much touches your head. I can imagine your mother probably working her ass off in the kitchen a lot. The father not giving a shit about his kids and telling them to shut up so he could hear the television set. There was a couch outside. And he went ahead. He had a gallon of gasoline. He was pouring it all over as a trail from inside the house all the way outside next to the chair. And he basically said, I told you I'm going to burn your whole life to the ground. And then he took a match. Bitch was burning like a sieve. Threw it down on the ground next to the gasoline. The fucking fire started moving towards the house, and then the whole house started burning in flames behind him while he's sitting in the fucking chair. That was an unbelievable sight. Awesome moment by AEW. That was unreal. And Swerve Strickland sitting there acting as if this was not to be expected to happen. Are you fucking serious? Swerve, buddy, you walked into the man's house where his kid's laying in a crib, acting as if you're going to harm his child. To do what? In the beginning of all this was strictly about competition. It was about competition, trying to earn the right to become a world champion again. Or in Swerve's case, trying to earn his first title opportunity for the world title. And he walks into the man's home to fuck with his head. Now you tell me, wouldn't you do something similar to what Hangman Page did, or get some act of revenge, or make him pay for that? I mean, come on. This is karma coming back to Swerve Strickland at the end of the day, folks. To me, I don't see Hangman Page as a villain. I see Hangman Page just acting out on pure anger for what Swerve Strickland did to him in the beginning of all this. And Swerve sitting there surprised and begging and pleading with him not to burn down the house. Come on, dude. You threatened to come and assassinate his family in the beginning of all this. Like, you did not expect something to happen. Come on. You think Hangman Page was going to put his tail between his legs and just walk off his merry way after he lost to you several times? Get the fuck out of here. I feel no sympathy for Swerve Strickland in this situation. I hope Hangman Page kicks his fucking ass in this steel cage match. And I hope he defeats him. Not only because I bet on him, but because he deserves to win this in this storyline. He absolutely deserves to be the winner of this match. Hands down, without question. I think this is an absolute travesty that they're making Swerve Strickland look like he's the poor, sympathetic person who did no wrong, and now his home is burned to the ground. Oh, boo hoo hoo. You walked into another man's home where his family lives, and you're trying to fucking do shit, acting like you're gonna do something to his firstborn child. You talking shit about his second-born child too. On top of it, come on, dude. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Gotta be kidding. You're gonna talk shit about that, you're gonna have problems, and this makes perfect sense as to why Hangman Page would have went this far in lengths to get even and get under the skin of Swerve Strickland. And I hope that plays into this matchup at All Out on Saturday. It should. I would hope. I mean, I'd find it a little stupid if it doesn't. But anyway, guys, I think the ending of the show is great. I think the closing promo for each of the major matches that are taking place on this pay-per-view were done well. But outside of the few things here and there, the rest of the show is just it was there, you know. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. At this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. I thank you guys very, very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.